to generate yellow flashing light. To summarize this step 6, we connect push-button switch, RGB LED and Arduino such that when the Arduino is powered and we press the push-button switch, the RGB LED goes on and off or flashes in yellow color for a specified duration of time and switches off when the switch is pressed again. This action repeats itself whenever the switch is pressed. In this circuit, we use components like the Arduino Uno push button and RGB LED. Let's build this circuit in Tinkercad and simulate it. Let's draw the components mentioned in the circuit diagram seen earlier. So, we will draw the Arduino Uno, RGB LED, push button and resistor of value 10 kilo ohms and 330 ohms in two numbers. We will connect as follows. Terminal 1 of the resistor 10K to the 5V of the Arduino Uno. This is positive line. So, we shall select the wire color red. Terminal 2 of the resistor 10K to the terminal 1A of the push button. Terminal 1B of the push button to the D2 of the Arduino Uno. Terminal 2A of the push button to the GND of the Arduino Uno. This is negative line, so we shall select the wire color black. D4 of the Arduino Uno to the terminal 1 of the resistor 330 ohms 1. Terminal 2 of the resistor 330 ohms to the red terminal of the RGB. D5 of the Arduino Uno to the terminal 1 of the resistor 330 ohms 2. Terminal 2 of the resistor 330 ohms 2 to the green terminal of the RGB LED. Cathode of the RGB LED to the ground of the Arduino Uno. We have now completed the circuit. Let's go to the code. Watch Introduction to Arduino Programming video before you proceed. Click the Code button. You see the default code here in the form of visual block coding. Delete the existing default code. Let's start building the new code. Change view to block plus text. You can see both block and text forms. First, we write the description of the code using notation block. For this code, we require variables, input, output, control, and math blocks. We shall create two variables: button state and counter. Select the Set Button State block. Select the Input block. Take Read Digital Pin and set the digital pin to 2, as we have connected the push button on D2. As we have seen in previous video, we follow the same steps. So that every time push button is pressed, counter value increments by 1. We will create a condition such that when the push button is pressed, the LED will go on and off for a specified time duration, so that we follow the same steps as seen in previous video. Set digital pins to 4 and 5. As we have connected red and green terminal of RGB LED on D4 and D5 respectively. RGB LED will be on for 100 milliseconds and off for 100 milliseconds. Here we get the flashing effect in yellow color. The following code will turn off the LED when the button is pressed for the second time. Here also we shall follow the same steps as seen in previous video. The code is written to create a loop, such that when the button is pressed again for the third or more time, the LED behaves in a similar fashion as above, as also seen in previous video. Set counter to 1, as done earlier. We have completed the code and are ready for simulation. You see the on green LED glows on Arduino Uno, but the RGB LED does not glow. When you push the button, RGB LED flashes in yellow color. When again you push the button, LED turns off and this goes on. This is how we generate yellow flashing light with Arduino using visual block coding. This circuit and code has many applications. A few examples could be warning lights and so on. You can now build your own circuit and write the code. Download the image file and submit in the assignment. Circuit explanation. Step 6 equals Step 3 plus Step 4. The program is written in such a way that when you press the push button switch, the input pin D2 changes the state to logic low and the output pins D4 and D5 changes the state to logic high in closed path 2 and 3. And the red and green anodes of the RGB LED connected to the output pins D4 and D5 in anodes of the RGB LED connected to the output pins D4 and D5 together then activate and deactivate periodically as per the sketch, finally giving flashing effect with a yellow light. When the push button switch is pressed again, the LED off. Have fun! Cheers!